Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Alex. Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, we'll get started. Welcome everyone to another YouthSpeak Instagram Live. I am here with my friend Asma, and we've spoken a lot together. I don't think we've done an Instagram Live together, so I'm really excited for this. I just want to let you introduce yourself a little bit uh, and tell people a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Hi everyone. My name is Asma. You might have seen me in some previous lives. I am a speaker with YouthSpeak, and we go and share our stories to schools and youth around the Ontario. And yeah, a little bit about me. I grew up in Pakistan and I moved to Canada around 10 years ago. I faced a lot of challenges with my mental health over the years, and I love sharing my story and inspiring youth, and as well as letting them know that they're not alone in what they go through.
That's amazing. And that's also why I love being with you speak as well. So I can completely relate on that. And just on a side note, I also want to let people know that there is a Starbucks gift card giveaway. So just stay on the stream till the end, tag two of your friends during the stream, and you have a chance to win a Starbucks gift card. We'll draw at the end of the stream, and hopefully you're the lucky winner. I want to start. Anyone who's seen when I host one of these, I like to start with icebreakers just because topics can be a little bit heavy or difficult to talk about. So I want to start with an icebreaker with you. Would you consider yourself a winter person?
Um, I think I'm a little ambivalent about the winter. It's like I have a winter me and a summer me. So I just kind of, it takes a little bit of time to switch to winter me, but once I'm there, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I'm totally the same way. I've got to kind of get used to the cold weather and the shorter days, but once I get there, I get there. And I want to know, especially with the days getting shorter, what's your favorite comfort food? Because I know we all go to food for comfort sometimes.
Definitely pizza. I think nothing beats that for me.
Yes, I love that. Pizza's my favorite too, and poutine. I'm a really big poutine fan. Even
Mm,
fast food poutine. Like,
it's
it's
all good.
so good. Yeah. So I love pizza. What's your favorite type of pizza?
I would go with like plain cheese, maybe a little bit of veggies. Like I like pretty simple, but then I put a lot of hot sauce on it, so
I've never had hot sauce on pizza. I've got to try that sometime.
pretty good.
All right, so I want to get into our questions now. We'll get off the topic of pizza as much as I could talk about pizza all night. Especially since we were talking about the days getting shorter, you tend to kind of find food, comfort in food. With the days getting shorter now, how do you think this winter especially will be different with COVID, especially with mental health?
I think it's definitely going to be a lot more isolating this winter, just because usually would be like indoor gatherings, right? The things that get you by and seeing people and, having those fun winter activities even. It's going to be quite different this year, and it's harder to even go outside for our daily walks and things, right, anymore. So it's just going to be a whole new sort of isolation experience, different from the summer.
Yeah, for sure. I've even noticed it now. Like you used to be able to go out to parks, and now it's starting to get a bit too cold.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I still try to go for walks. I just have to bundle up a lot more. So
Yeah.
interesting, but definitely the lack of sun is, yeah, it does affect some things, especially when, when you're done work for the day and the sun's already kind of gone, and it just feels like it's always dark. It used to be better to, have a place to go outside, and at least you get that outside experience with coming back home. But yeah, it's different now. I think it's definitely something we can adjust to. It's not impossible. There are strategies we can use to adjust to this time, but that doesn't discount how hard it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people are feeling that way too, just feeling, especially with the days getting shorter, right? And coming back from even school, people coming back from school, it's dark within an hour that you're home. And that's really difficult. How have you been dealing with this change of season? You mentioned that, yeah, it is really difficult, but have you found ways to kind of cope with it?
Yeah, I just kind of let myself be a little lazy, you know. I kind of I go to bed a little earlier. I take my time with like my relaxation routine and just kind of like, I got a little bit back into journaling recently, so that's been helping me a lot with just kind of sorting out my daily stressors and planning for the future, and those kinds of things keep me kind of excited, something to look forward to. So. Just having those little habits for me has been helping me settle in.
Yeah, it's kind of like knowing, having that stability at the end of the day, right? Like knowing you're going to do something you enjoy and knowing that it's something that's going to benefit you at the end of the day is so helpful, especially during these times, right?
Absolutely. That routine is so important. Like you said, it just gives us that feeling of control in our lives.
Yeah, definitely. I want to know. So you were telling me about how, yeah, you kind of sleep early and sometimes you don't do the things you would normally do, especially now that it's getting dark and cold. Um, you've noticed a change in activity, and I think everyone does during this change in the seasons. How do you try and kind of combat that and keep both your mind and body healthy while it's getting colder and darker and with COVID around?
Yeah, so it is different. It's harder to be more physically active now. I find it takes more mental effort for me to, uh, get up and do those daily things I used to. I think I'm losing it. Okay, we're back. Um, yeah, it's just, yeah, I definitely have seen my physical activity gone down quite a bit, especially because it's harder to walk outside now, and they end up being shorter walks. But I think just I've added some daily stretches in. They're not super consistent yet, but those kind of things really help me, as well as my cat gets cold and she likes hugs, so I carry her around and I just walk around my house.
Oh, that's so cute. I wish I had a little animal around too. And I
Oh,
think especially like I think it's important to talk about how animals can really help too, especially if you feel isolated.
yeah, they're honestly, it's the having that companionship is so important. It's like I don't have to talk even. I just have a friend that's always following me around.
Yeah, and always listens to you and is always on your side.
Mhm.
Um, so I also want to talk about why we might feel a little bit weird when the season changes. So the sun actually heightens the brain's production of feel-good chemicals. So it produces serotonin, and having that exposure, less exposure to the sunlight, can actually be difficult for a lot of people and can lead to feelings of being sad, feeling down, even just dread. I know sometimes I wake up and I really dread getting out of bed because I know it's going to be cold. I know I'm going to have my shower and I'm going to get out and be freezing. So it can be really difficult for a lot of people. I don't know if you're the same way. Some people really love the crisp morning winter air, but I could do without it for sure.
Yeah, especially when there's a huge pile of snow outside just waiting to be shoveled. Yeah, I kind of try to avoid, like, yeah, it's hard to not want to avoid those things, um, but definitely it's kind of an excuse to just, it's like ripping the band-aid. Once I'm out of bed, okay, I'll do my wake up stuff. I might need a little bit longer to get out of bed, and I'll tell myself that that's okay. I can still take that extra 5, 10 minutes to just adjust and then just get into it, really.
We have a comment saying, nope, no thank you, no snow for me. See, I can agree with that sometimes. I think there's something so cool about the winter, though. Like, the first snowfall, and everyone's excited because it looks so nice and so new. I wish
Mhm.
that feeling was like throughout winter, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I've noticed that a lot of people put their Christmas lights up already, and that always helps me get through winter. Just even driving around and seeing the lights is just so much fun.
And I think it's great too, because especially right now, what do people have to do? go around on drives, look at Christmas lights, go on walks and looks at lights. So everyone putting them up early is amazing for people who feel like they don't have anything to do because now you have a great activity to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a fun one, and I feel like this year that we might just have them a bit longer.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I've seen some really nice ones out my window right now, actually.
It really brings that nice winter feeling.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to add for people who are just joining, we are giving away a Starbucks gift card. Just stay till the end of the stream, tag two of your friends, and we will draw a name, and hopefully you are the winner. I also want to thank again Diana. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your ongoing support. It is so appreciated, and it is just incredible. Everything, you being in here, participating, and as well as the gift card. So thank you a million times. Getting moving on, I want to know. So we have talked about a few tips, going out for walks, animals, stuff like that. Do you have any tips for keeping your mind well, not only just during the winter, but during COVID? Because, like I said, a lot of people do feel really alone right now.
hmm yeah, it's been quite a challenge. I think I've I guess I feel kind of lucky that I was part of that generation that grew up with social media and texting, and so it's not too, it is still a different transition to making that your primary way of talking to people, but I feel like it's been harder on people that aren't used to using technology to connect. For me, I have a lot of family back home in Pakistan, and that's the only way we can talk is through video calls. So for me right now, it's I feel pretty lucky that I haven't had to struggle that much with it, although I've seen it really affecting a lot of other people. Um, and I think just the way I handle my well-being around this time is really like it is a stressful period. It is time. It makes sense to be upset at it, and I try to let myself have that space as well, to let myself feel that uncertainty and that anxiety, and then still find ways to manage that, cope around that, and remind myself of the things I have to be grateful for.
And I think that's really important too, is to just let yourself sit with those feelings sometimes, even if they're big feelings, right? Because that's the way that we can truly understand ourselves and what we're feeling.
Yeah, it helps me to really label my emotions. And I find often when I do find that label of like, hey, maybe I'm feeling lonely, but maybe it's because either it's because I'm feeling isolated or abandoned, or maybe because I'm withdrawing from others. But once I'm able to label that feeling, then I know what I can do with it. So if I feel abandoned, I can reach out to people that care. And if I feel like I'm withdrawing, then maybe I can find that one person to talk to.
Yeah, and it is really interesting because I grew up with social media a bit more into my life. But my brother, he'll be on his computer all day talking to his friends on webcam and on mic, and it's so positive for so many people, right? Especially now that the holidays are here and all we want to do is get together and see our loved ones. It's such a nice way that we're able to connect.
Absolutely. And I think, it's we're also lucky to have this technology and still be able to connect. It's different and we don't get as many hugs as we're used to, but it's still like some way to connect with someone, and really I think it leaves a lot of space to have more meaningful conversations as well.
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, there are advantages and disadvantages, right, to even just texting. And I think this is a great option for people who prefer to see people's faces or prefer to see facial expressions and body language, right?
hmm Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to know, what are some ways that you can use your increased time, kind of indoors due to COVID, due to the weather, to your advantage?
hmm Yeah, I mean, I've been using it really. I redecorated my room,
Oh, wow.
working on different parts of the house, just trying to like reorganize things and just make my space, more comfortable, more kind of, new year, new me kind of thing, even though
Yeah,
it's, what is time anymore? So I'm just trying to like put more care and love into my inside space because it is where I'm safe at the end of the day. So I want to feel as comfortable and happy as possible here.
that's awesome. I can tell you, I have moved this desk around in this room at least 50 times trying to find like the lighting I like, the position I like. So I totally get that. Now it's in the perfect place. I feel safe. I feel happy when I wake up every morning and come to my computer. So I totally get that. And it really can. Like decorating can, one, reinvent your whole space, but it can also make your mood so much better. And it can almost declutter your mind in a sense.
Definitely. Yeah, that decluttering, I didn't realize until recently, but it really, really helps my mental health when I can just take like a pile of laundry and just fold it really pretty and just, make my space more clear. It just really helps to clear the mind.
Have you seen that Netflix show? It's like folding and it's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, is it the Marie Kondo one?
The what?
Is it Marie Kondo with like the oh, I forgot.
Oh yeah, and she folds things really, really nicely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she says you have to something about loving the thing. If you love it enough, you keep it. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
a cool way to know if like this is something that I want to give away or something I want to keep.
And that's something that could also be used for wellness too, is just going through your closet, trying to find stuff that maybe you don't wear as much anymore and donating it to people who need it this holiday. And not
Mm.
only will that help a family in need or people in need, that'll also make you feel a little bit better during the darker times of the season, especially. We,
Absolutely.
we have a comment. Extra time during COVID. I'm watching more movies or TV shows. Yeah, I have been too, for sure.
Same. I've been getting into, I'm just always looking for the next show to watch. And honestly, it's great. There's so much TV out there and so many things you can't possibly watch in a lifetime. So it's great to have those options.
Yeah, and all the streaming platforms too. Like it feels like there's infinite options. Also, I
Mhm.
just want to note there are a lot of new people coming in. We are having a Starbucks gift card giveaway tonight. Stay till the end of the stream. Make sure that you tag two friends, and we will be doing a draw at the end of the stream. You have given us so much good advice, Asma. It's incredible. I knew doing this with you would be a blast, and it has been so far. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
So the winter blues. I want to talk about the winter blues a little bit, because there is a difference between the winter blues and something called seasonal affective, which we've already talked about.
Mhm.
Um, so the winter blues are basically a wave of low emotions that a lot of people feel coming into the winter season. Um, they make you feel like sleeping more. I don't know about anyone else, but sometimes I'll skip my workout and watch Netflix and eat junk food. Um, so it basically is a perfectly normal reaction to just not getting enough light or getting as much light as we need. Um, so the difference between this and something like seasonal affective disorder or SAD is seasonal affective is actually a cycle. So it can last from the fall. People don't actually know this a lot, but it can last from the fall all the way to the spring. But with some people, it can last into the early summer. So even when the light changes. Um, but I really want to distinguish those two just because I want to make sure that you reach out to someone if your sad day turns into a sad month. Because a sad day happens, and sad days are normal. But if it becomes a sad month, it might be time to reach out to someone you trust and someone that you feel safe talking to.
Mhm.
But that's just something because I didn't even know that. I didn't know why in the winter I started eating more junk food or I started skipping my workouts.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know that actually. There's different. There's the winter blues and then there's seasonal affective. Um, there's definitely like that sort of mental side of things with our thoughts and emotions going the winter, and then that very physical part of just not having enough light and vitamin D in your system to to give us that energy to do the things we used to.
And I think that's important to note too, is that it is a physical thing, right? Like some people might think, oh, I wish I could shake this off. Oh, everyone I know is doing this, but it is a physical thing, and it's something that your body has to adjust and adapt to as time goes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Diana says the winter blues hits me hardest when the time changes in November. But then I remember right after Christmas, the days start to get a bit longer each day. That's a fantastic point. That's what I look forward to every single year. I know I pin the shortest day of the year on my calendar and then I pin the longest day.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's so good to know that, honestly, where it's like you just know the day's getting a little longer. It gives you that bit of hope every day. And honestly, the speed at which this year has been going, I wouldn't be surprised if we just blink and it's summer again.
It feels like it, eh? It feels like it was summer 2 seconds ago and it's been snowing apparently.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if it snowed where you were, but
It did. And I was like spending all day at work, like, oh, I have to go out and shovel after, I have to go out and shovel after. But luckily, it all melted by the time I was done.
oh, see, you dodged a bullet on that one, eh? Yeah, it's we didn't get a lot of snow, but it's definitely been getting darker. I've noticed even more, like I've noticed it more this year than last year for some reason. Like it seems like it's getting dark at like 3:30 for
It
some reason.
Yeah, it feels like it's a lot earlier than before. I don't know if it's just like, you know, we have a bit of amnesia from last year, or if it's like, everything's kind of feeling new this year. It's like maybe we pay more attention to it, but yeah, it's definitely feeling like extra short days and they take longer to start. I'll wake up and it's dark, and then I'll like, look outside, it's dark again. Like it's,
That's why, honestly, I've found little things to help with that. Like my desk here is right beside a huge window because I know when it's sunny, I want as much of that natural light beaming in on me as possible. So like little things like that, even though we can't get a whole lot of light, especially in Ontario this time of year, really can I've noticed have helped me, especially.
mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Asma.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's an awesome point you made, that like just to take advantage of the light that we do get and make sure that we're in it when it's out there.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, you love walking, even if you have to wear layers, and that's a great way to get some natural sunlight.
Hmm.
So we have a question. Does your morning and evening routine change from season to season?
Hmm. Yeah, it does. I think for summertime, I feel like it's a little bit more I get up and I go and I'm excited for the day, and then in winters it's a little bit slower. Everything's I need to add like an extra step to my skincare routine, and I might need the heater by my feet all day. But so it is a little bit different, but I think it's kind of like the same thing as putting on those extra layers of jackets. I'm putting some extra coping tools in, and I'm adding some extra steps to my routine. But it's different, but it's also good.
Yeah, I fully agree. For anyone joining, just to let you know, we do have a Starbucks gift card giveaway. Stay till the end of the stream, tag two friends, and we will make sure that we draw and hopefully you win. I've also noticed that. So my routine is a little bit different in the winter. I allow myself a little bit more time to kind of just sit in the morning rather than immediately going to work out. Just because my body, I've noticed if I try and work out within the 15 minutes I've woken up, it just won't happen. So in the summer, I have no problem getting up immediately and going and working out, but the winter is a little hard for me. So I've noticed my best advice for changing my routine was to be patient with myself, and allow myself that time, even when I quote unquote felt like I didn't deserve it because, like, I don't know, I hadn't worked out yesterday or something. I give myself that time because that's the best way to do it and that's the healthiest way for me to do it, right?
Absolutely. I think just, it's easy for us to have like a lot of expectations of ourselves, but it's also important to recognize that we're in a tough situation and we can give ourselves a break sometimes. It's really great that you're doing that.
Yeah, and I think it really is important because I think there is a lot of pressure, especially with COVID right now, right? We have to be great at school, we have to be great at our job, we have to be great at socializing, all while we're trying to navigate this new world, and all while winter is setting in, right? So we've got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's enough that, anyone would be scared, and it's okay to be scared. It's good because part of that stress keeps us safe. It keeps us doing the things that we need to do, like practicing social distancing and taking care of our health and washing our hands. We need a certain level of stress to do that. But obviously, when it gets too much, when we can't do our daily tasks, or when it feels sad for a long time, it's definitely a sign to reach out to people.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Because sometimes it is a normal sad, but sometimes it goes on for a bit too long and it's time to reach out. And
Mhm.
you just gave me the perfect segue into my next question about social distancing. That's perfect. So, if you're anything like me, you've been feeling a little bit of pressure around the holiday season. I know I've had friends, family asking me to hang out, what's up for Christmas, stuff like that. So, how have you been staying safe with all these different pressures around you? Be it like family get togethers, friends wanting to hang out during the holidays, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it starts with sort of balancing my emotions around it. I have to remind myself that, I can't control anyone else's behavior and I can't get upset at people for wanting to hang out with others and socialize. It's only natural, and it's such a weird place to be where our natural needs are not being met. So I understand when why people want to hang out. But I also have to be a little bit assertive and let them know that I don't feel safe. And it does hope I'm grateful that people are understanding for the most part, and if they're not, it just helps to keep repeating myself and say that I'm really sorry, I wish I could see you, I'm available on the phone, but I can't, I don't feel safe. And it is hard to have that conversation, but it's important to take it slow, remember to be kind, and just respect other people for their actions and opinions as well.
Yeah, and I know, like, for me, I get frustrated sometimes because I really want to keep myself safe. Like I have asthma and I have like all sorts of stuff. Like I cannot get sick. So I'll find myself like losing my temper at people and I'm like, okay, calm down. We have to realize that everyone is just human. We're all doing our best. And my reaction isn't someone else's reaction to the situation, isn't someone else's reaction, right?
Yeah. And it is frustrating, right? When you see people in our lives, the people that we know, maybe not being safe. It does hurt and it is disappointing, but there's only so much we can do. We can educate others, we can do it in a kind way and just pass information and hope they change their minds. But the best thing we can really do is take care of ourselves.
And I think that's the best advice that anyone could give is to just be kind because this is a new situation for everyone, right? Like no one has been in this situation before. No one knows how to navigate it. And it's just because my idea of what's supposed to happen doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that someone else's idea of what's supposed to happen isn't right. You know what I mean? Like we're all trying to navigate this and we're all trying to figure out a situation that we've never been a part of before. And
Mhm.
especially young people, like we were in the time of our lives where we're supposed to be socializing and having fun. And even in the winter, I don't know about you, but I still like to go out in the winter and hang out with my friends. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's, even more so in the winter. I feel like we want to connect more, we want to get out more, we want to look for winter activities because it is that much more isolating in the winter when it gets dark outside. You need that light and other people. Um, it's just at the end of the day, we're all in this together. It is very new and none of us know how to deal with it. but we are all doing our best. I think it's important to remember that too.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And there's so much like I think there's so much external, like we're getting so much information too, that it's confusing for everyone, right? Like we don't, I know especially for out in my area, people don't know if they can see their families. They don't know if they can do Christmas. They don't know if they can do Easter. Like they just don't know, and I think that's part of why people are so worried about stuff like that, either on one side or the other, right? Because it's difficult and it's something we haven't dealt with.
Yeah, and you know the holiday season is historically a time when people feel more mental health challenges, right? Because it's that time you're supposed to be happy, and what if you don't have those people in your life, right? I worry that those things might get amplified this year. So I feel like it's even more important now than ever to really know who our supports are, who we can call, just in case it gets a little bit more difficult this year.
And I think even like if you don't know your supports, there's so many resources too, like even Kids Help Phone, um, lines like that, and those are people who are willing to listen to you and willing to talk to you. And I know when I was younger, sometimes all I wanted was someone to listen to me talk. I didn't want someone's opinion. I didn't want someone to tell me, "Oh, it'll get better. Just wait through the season." I just wanted to rant at someone. So I think that's important to say too, that even if you really don't feel like you have anyone, there's always someone there. It could be a family member, it could be a person on the end of Kids Help Phone. There's always someone who wants to listen to you and wants to know that your well being is good.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I think Kids Help Phone is an incredible resource. They are available 24/7, so even if it's hard to sleep, even if it's 4 a.m., you can still
Mm-hmm.
reach out to somebody.
Yeah, 100%. Um, so Una said, I agree. I really believe that for the most part, we are really all just doing our best.
Mhm.
Exactly. And we're all human.
Yeah.
People make mistakes. That's one of the most beautiful parts about being human, I think, is that we make mistakes and we learn from them.
Mhm.
Um, and we're free to make mistakes and learn from them.
Absolutely. I think it was a pretty like aha sort of moment in my life when I was so scared about making mistakes at this new job, and I was so worried that I wasn't going to be perfect, that my brother actually told me, you know, mistakes is how we learn, and that just kind of blew my mind a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, that's how I learned anything in life. I made a mistake. So it's okay too. And then you notice that like other people don't notice as much either, right? And like or they're making mistakes too. So it's just that huge learning curve for all of us right now.
Yeah, and especially with the added elements, like how, especially with how damp it's been this year, the rain, the snow. Um, I know I'm definitely feeling that. I know even without trying to visit people, like if it's raining, I'll wake up and I'll go, oh no, not my alarm. I don't want to do it.
Mm,
Um, but it's about kind of making that routine and kind of knowing what's best for your mind and your body at the time. Because I know what's best for my mind and body at the time, especially in the winter, is to just get up, get my cup of coffee, sit for half an hour, and then get on with my day.
hmm. Yeah, I think that's so important to just know where you're at and accommodate your needs. I think that's the best way to get through the day.
Yeah, absolutely. But and I think it's especially like with all the information like we were talking about, sometimes it's hard to recognize our own needs. And sometimes it's hard to put our needs ahead of those other people's needs. I know I very much do this, but sometimes I will completely forget to do self care because my friend is in crisis and I need to take care of them. But I've taught myself that in order for me to take care of someone else, I also have to take care of myself.
It's so important, and it's so easy to neglect our own self-care and our own needs, especially when other people are hurting as well. Um, So yeah, absolutely. Taking that extra second or even just making a routine around self-care so you know you have that just set out in your daily plan, I think is so important.
Absolutely. So for anyone just joining, just a heads up, we are doing a Starbucks gift card giveaway at the end of the stream, which will be soon, unfortunately, because this has been awesome. I've loved every minute of it. But to win a Starbucks gift card, all you have to do is tag two of your friends, and we will draw your name at the end of the stream. So, Asma, we are coming very close to the end. This has been absolutely awesome. Like, the conversation's been incredibly insightful. And I want to thank you so much because you're always so open and honest, and you've been nothing but open and honest here as well. Um, so, yeah, it's been really, really good. But I want to know my final question to you, and to have a think on this one because this is a good one, is what would you say to someone who's dealing with winter blues or the COVID blues? Because that's becoming a very rapid thing as well. Who's trying to feel better throughout this season, kind of trying to lift themselves up.
That is that's a tough one. I think that winter blues and COVID blues are kind of just gonna hug each other all season long. This time we won't know what's what. It's all gonna kind of be together. And for someone who is struggling, I would remind them that um, I would let them know to just think about the things that they have right now, the things that they like about themselves, that they're able to do right now, and that it's okay to not have those other things for now. And remind ourselves that it doesn't mean we won't have them later. We might have to wait a little longer to get the life that we were used to back, but it is around the corner. It will be here, and we just got to hang on a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I think that's something that I take away from all of this too is that it will get better eventually, one day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just waiting.
It's the waiting period, and it's okay to, let yourself be upset. It's okay to let yourself take breaks and rest, and not be perfect all the time. And but it's also okay to just remember how awesome you are and all the things that you still have in your life.
Yeah, and I think that's really important too, that there we all have different circumstances, but we all have stuff that makes us happy. And I think that if you can focus, especially once a day. So I'll give you a quick example since we have a bit of time. So I really love drumming. So once a day, I'll go to my drum set, I'll play the drums for an hour or so. That's something that makes me just feel a little bit better and is something that I can control in my life. I can't control COVID. I can't control that winter is very rapidly creeping up on us, but I can control that I go to my drums every day and I know it'll make me feel better.
Hmm. That is so cool. I love the drums.
They're great. They're very loud.
Yeah.
I feel bad for my partner and my neighbors, but it's a great instrument.
Yeah, it's so fun. My brother plays guitar, so I like listen to him when he plays, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Acoustic or electric?
Electric.
Oh, okay, so loud instrument as well.
Oh, but he does control the volume a bit, but it's nice, like me and my cat sit together and we just listen. It's pretty fun.
That's a really good way of bonding too over COVID, right? Like just listening to music with someone that you're in a household with or someone that you trust.
Yeah, it's really great. And even now, like I know there's a lot of virtual concerts happening, and you can even connect with like other people virtually and watch a Netflix show together, which I think is really cool. And there's just these different ways to bond now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think people are starting to learn the different ways and kind of adapt to the different ways.
Mhm.
So we have a comment. I watch episodes of Friends to make me feel better. It makes me laugh. Friends. A lot of people love Friends.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that, when you love it, you just keep coming back to it, and it's just that happy place you go to.
Yeah, I've always been more of a The Office fan myself.
I love The Office. It's
Yeah,
so
it's my all-time favorite show. I can watch it over and over. I know every line, but I can still keep watching it.
yeah, it's just always funny. I completely relate. I rewatch it like once a year.
Yeah, I honestly, for me, it's probably more than once a year. All right, guys, so we have come to the end. Oh, we've got another one. I like watching 90 Day Fiance. So funny. On The Great Escape, that's actually my favorite show. My partner and I have watch it every single week together. It's one of our all-time favorites. It's great. So we've come to the end. We're going to do the Starbucks giveaway. So make sure that you write your name, tag two friends if you want a chance to win a Starbucks gift card. And I'll give everyone a bit of time to do that. I don't know if you've ever seen 90 Day Fiance. Have you, Asma?
I haven't, but it is on my list of things to get into. I just need to get on the right streaming service.
Oh, it's so good. That's the issue, right? Because there's the whole cord cutting thing and like TLC, I believe, is like only cable for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, that's the struggle a bit, but I have Hey You, so I watch a lot of reality shows, so just
Mm,
that. Right now I'm watching Shaws of Sunset and it's quite entertaining.
I've never even heard of that one.
It's really cool. It's like it's like the Persian community in Beverly Hills, but like the elites and like the drama. It's like
Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna have to check
yeah.
that. I love TLC shows. Me too. TLC shows are one of my all-time favorite shows. Just a heads up, if anyone wants to win a Starbucks gift card, just to put your name and tag a couple of friends. I'll give it just a couple more minutes. If not, we will just put it into the pot for another lucky winner at another later date. Have you seen any? So I know we're all getting like Netflix fatigue, but what's been your top Netflix show you've seen since COVID started?
Since COVID started,
Yeah, it gives you a long while to think back on.
it's like when I think back, you know how like I said that this year was so short, but then if I think of how many things I watched, it's like it all expands. I'm like, oh my God, I watched the world. I don't know. More recently, I watched The Queen's Gambit, and that was really, really cool. It was just the perfect, like relaxing, beautiful, graphics and colors and just great story. So I really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, my parents watched it, and I've watched a couple of episodes. I'm trying so hard to get into it.
It's really slow. It's really
Yeah,
slow. Yeah.
I'm on like episode two, and I'm sitting there kind of just like, okay, can. But I also like action, right? Like
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
stuff. So, oh, Matthew loves that show.
Yay.
See, we've got some Queen's Gambit fans.
Thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, I know. I want to get into it. It's just, yeah, it's
It's
a
not
little
your
slow.
really slow. For me, it's like when I want to like just shut my brain off and look at something pretty, then I put that one on.
Yeah, and sometimes you need that. It's a good brain break.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So with that, it looks like there are no entries, but that's fine because we will just add it to a later date spot for another lucky winner. I wish I could win it because I do like a Starbucks drink every now and again.
Mhm.
But with that, I want to thank you so much, Asma. Like you are so open, you give such good advice, and it's always a pleasure just working with you, talking to you, just hanging out with you.
Thanks so much, Alex. This has been so, so fun, and it's as always, it is awesome talking to you.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, and we will have another great guest, another great topic, and we will see you all next week. Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody. You can catch the live later on our IGTV.
Thank you very much. Yes, you can.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.